Imagine a microcap biotechnology company so deeply undervalued that its entire market capitalization barely reaches $25 million, an amount smaller than the annual marketing budget of a mid-tier pharmaceutical firm. Yet that same company is preparing to launch an FDA-approved oncology drug while simultaneously assembling the regulatory package for a second therapy supported by statistically powerful phase 3 data. And before we go deeper, let me say this early so you do not miss it. A fully updated trading strategy based on the most recent market conditions is included later in the episode. So stay through to the end because that section ties every signal together. If you are watching this on Shorts, you will need to use the full version link below to hear the complete analysis because the trading strategy sits in the latter half and Shorts will cut that part entirely. I wanted to mention this now while the flow is still rising but not yet at a turning point. Now imagine that this same company once traded near $6 before collapsing to roughly $1 because investors exhausted by delays and dilution stopped believing the long-promised transformation would ever arrive. And now this company, Citius Pharmaceuticals, ticker CTXR, is suddenly within reach of two of the most consequential milestones a microcap biotech can experience. Under normal circumstances, a company of this size might secure one such milestone within a decade. It is extremely uncommon for two events of this magnitude to converge within the same operational cycle. This is the setting. And it is this convergence that forces investors to reevaluate what they thought they understood about this company, its science, and its valuation trajectory. To understand why this moment matters, we must reconstruct the full historical logic. Citius, founded in 2007 in Cranford, New Jersey, built a development strategy that diverged from what early-stage biotechs typically pursue. Most microcaps begin with laboratory discoveries, progress slowly through preclinical work, and then spend years attempting to secure first-in-human proof. Citius instead pursued assets with clear biological rationale and shorter regulatory timelines. The clearest example was Mino Lok, an antibiotic lock therapy designed to treat catheter-related bloodstream infections. Under standard medical practice, when a central venous catheter becomes infected, the established protocol is catheter removal and replacement. It is reliable but invasive, costly, and dangerous for immunocompromised patients. It also extends hospital stays and introduces systemic risks. Mino Lok proposed something fundamentally different, using a targeted antibiotic lock to salvage the catheter rather than remove it, while systemic antibiotics work concurrently. Salvage approaches rarely succeed in late development because they often fail to produce consistent clinical benefit. The fact that Mino Lok reached phase 3 meant it was already an unusual contender in a category where most programs fail before advanced trials. As Mino Lok progressed, investor enthusiasm rose, but then delays surfaced. Trial enrollment slowed, operational adjustments accumulated. To maintain momentum, Citius pursued repeated registered direct offerings. Capital raising is normal for pre-revenue biotechs. What was unusual was the clustering. Across mid-2025 to late 2025, the company raised nearly $27 million through multiple offerings priced at market. In the biotech sector, such clustering typically signals that the company anticipates simultaneous high-demand operational phases, not just a single asset launch. This indicated preparations for a dual advancement cycle involving both Mino Lok and Lymphir. For investors, the dilution was painful, yet the frequency hinted at underlying acceleration. Then, in May 2024, the scientific narrative changed sharply. The pivotal phase 3 Mino Lok trial met its primary endpoint with a p-value near zero. In late-stage infectious disease trials, such clarity is uncommon because many therapies fail to outperform standard protocols. The secondary endpoint, overall treatment success at 6 weeks, also demonstrated superiority. No major therapy-related adverse events appeared. In infectious disease development, it is rare for a therapy to deliver strong efficacy and clean safety simultaneously. This level of success suggested that Mino Lok had the potential to reshape long-established catheter removal workflows and influence hospital resource management. Shortly afterward, the FDA-approved Lymphir, a targeted immunotherapy for relapsed or refractory cutaneous T-cell lymphoma. For most microcaps, FDA approval is a distant goal. Those that succeed generally execute limited launches with minimal infrastructure. Citius did the opposite. Beginning in early 2025, the company constructed a commercial architecture similar to mid-tier oncology firms. A permanent J-code, J9161, was issued in April 2025. In July, Citius partnered with Cencora for national distribution. In August, it deployed Verix AI to guide Salesforce targeting. In October, it finalized a commercialization agreement with EVERSANA. This level of preparation implied expectations for substantial clinical demand and broader adoption. By late November 2025, these events defined the valuation landscape. The stock trades near $1.30. Analyst estimates cluster near $6. Market capitalization is about $25 million. This reflects a dislocation between market pricing and operational reality. Support has formed near $1.20 and resistance near $1.50. The key catalysts ahead are the commercial launch of Lymphir in the fourth quarter of 2025 and the submission of the Mino Lok regulatory package. Strong early prescription data or a confirmed FDA submission could move the stock into the $2 to $3 zone. Long-term approval of Mino Lok could shift valuation into the $4 to $6 range. Conversely, slower sales or regulatory delays could push the stock below $1 again. Citius Pharmaceuticals embodies a familiar conflict to longtime biotech investors: the tension between scientific validation, operational strain, and market patience. It's a company long dismissed as speculative, now approaching an inflection point rarely encountered by microcap peers. For short-term market participants, the immediate priority is the performance of the Lymphir launch. For medium-term investors, the key catalyst will be the timing and reception of the Mino Lok submission. For long-term holders, the binary outcome of Mino Lok approval remains the ultimate determinant of future valuation. As always, to those who watch, subscribe, like, comment, and share this content with others. Your engagement drives the creation of deeper research and better episodes ahead. I appreciate every one of you, and I will continue delivering the most thorough and data-driven biotech narratives I can. This was ValueStir.